At Tunisia's largest commercial port, the Rades port, the director proudly shows us a series of screens that enable his team to monitor the immense complex.
We installed 137 cameras on the Rades port to monitor the docks where the containers arrive and the docks that receive bulk goods.
A few months ago, port officials used the surveillance cameras to intercept a truck transporting drugs.
This operation may seem trivial, but it led to numerous arrests and had important consequences. These drugs could have passed through our port and ended up all over the country.
There's a reason officials are focused on the Rades port. For years, political leaders have promised to put an end to the scourge of corruption and blockages that have plagued it. On the docks, trucks and moving equipment come and go, a constant stream of activity. Yet, in terms of performance, Tunisia's Rades port is one of the lowest-ranked ports in the world.
We have an output of 7 containers per hour, and we hope to increase that to 12.
But even a target of 12 containers per hour is a modest goal. Mediterranean ports of the same size handle about 35 containers per hour. Here, the boats can stay several weeks offshore before being able to unload their cargo. The Tunisian handling company STAM is responsible for the port's operations and has come under fire for mismanagement. The private firm has a near monopoly on the management of Tunisia's ports and has repeatedly faced accusations of corruption.
We had the means to store the containers in blocks and door to door to prevent them from being opened. This system, which you see behind me, prevents theft and the opening of containers.
But stolen goods aren't the main factor undermining the port's competitiveness. An investigation in 2020 found widespread corruption at the port, citing the use of bribes to speed up and facilitate business and to settle administrative issues.
Everyone knows truck drivers have to pay 100 dinars to get their containers.
In 2020, Tunisia's Minister of Transportation estimated that the losses at the Rades port numbered in the hundreds of billions of euros. Since then, the customs spokesperson says the new cameras and other technology make it possible to crack down on the criminal behavior driving those losses.
New digital tools reduce corruption and the opportunities for corruption. This has been our strategy since 2018. Customs procedures have more traceability thanks to these technologies.
Karim Al-Ouni is a self-proclaimed whistleblower. Fired from the Customs Service after 21 years, on his Facebook page, he regularly cites abuses carried out by his former employer. He says failures and inefficiencies by the port services fuel corruption.
Corruption in Tunisia is not necessarily corruption linked to government officials. It's the companies and the traders who are trying to get their goods through the port as fast as possible. They find the most effective way to do that is to pay a bribe and avoid paperwork and other complicated procedures.
The president of Tunisia, Kais Saied, has made fighting corruption one of his top priorities. After taking office in 2019, he promised to tackle bad practices in the political sphere and in the business world. But despite those promises, corruption still pervades daily life in Tunisia.